All right, everyone. This is my lovely girlfriend, Glennie.
Hi.
And we are at Mothership.
We're here to read.
We got a chai white mocha thing, creme brulee, and a cheese Danish. And then that's our Osmo Pocket there, too. We got two angles going on. What are we reading today?
The 4-Hour Work Week.
By who?
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Not the injured hand. Oh my gosh. Timothy Ferriss.
4-Hour Work Week is a book that really changed my life when I first got into entrepreneurship. I found it at the used bookstore the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, this would be really cool to read with you. It has a lot of good frameworks, mindsets on the path of entrepreneurship.
I'm not quite sure what to say, but hello. I've been reading the table of contents, and Ferriss has a way of reading books that's very non-linear, which I find very fascinating. He will look at the table of contents and find things that speak to what he's trying to learn, the information that he's trying to absorb. For me, I've always been the type of person to read from the beginning to end, which can be a long, tedious process when I'm a very busy person. I have this method that has worked for me in the past where I'll read either 10 pages a day or for 30 minutes a day, whatever permits. But as I look at the table of contents, it seems like everything looks really interesting to keep in mind and to learn about. I'm wondering, is there anything you want to skip to, or do you want to start from the beginning?
I think with you, I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
I feel like if we're reading something together, we're learning together rather than if we were building something together and it's like, oh, let's go to this chapter for this specific thing, maybe, but let's just go into the book and start from the beginning and see where the journey takes us. We're both sharing a learning space. I like doing that for my own learning individually, but if we're doing it together, then I kind of picked up that habit from a dude. His name's Naval Ravikant, billionaire, founder of AngelList. I saw a podcast where I'm getting the book right now. I saw a podcast where he was talking about how the way he reads, he doesn't wait to finish the book because sometimes books have a lot of jargon and fluff. He just gets to the good points with the stuff that he feels is relevant to him. If he doesn't resonate fully with a book, he'll kind of let it go and he'll just pick up another book. He'll just keep it going. He said something that really resonated with me. Just because I can't finish this book or this book is no longer interesting to me, a lot of people, they stop all of their learning because they didn't finish that one book. And I was like, yeah, that hits. Because I would do the same thing. I'd feel really guilty for not finishing one book. And I was like, oh, I can't read anything else. I thought it was like a limiting belief system for myself. Learning that from him, it kind of gave me the grace to be more forgiving, be more open, be more free with my learning process with books. Individually, but sharing with somebody, like this is kind of our book club. So it's like, yeah, let's learn together.
There was another book that we actually started reading where that kind of came into play. It had to do with fear and finances.
Remember what it was called?
You should try my drink, by the way. It was pretty good. It has a unique profile to it. Is it good?
Spicy.
Oh, it's spicy.
It's spicy.
How spicy?
Very spicy. I wonder how that's going to sound.
Okay, I found it. The book is called A Healthy State of Panic. Follow your fears to build wealth, crush your career, and win at life. Her name is Farnoosh Torabi. She doesn't actually get into information regarding finances and your fear revolving that until chapter 6. So after, I think we read maybe 2 chapters, or maybe it was 3, Paris was like, so how are you feeling about it so far? And I was like, I mean, it's interesting, but...
That's like my passive way of saying, hey, can we skip? But I mean, it was a test. Yeah. So yeah. I kind of introduced that to how we were reading that book, and then we kind of fell off.
We did. I still want to read it at least chapter 6, because what I was reading in it was really interesting. Something that still sticks with me that I already told you about is, instead of thinking about what could happen later, what if it happens now, or what if it happens tomorrow, in terms of fears that you have with your finances. Like, what if a hurricane hits tomorrow, or what if there's an earthquake tomorrow? What can that do to you regarding your finances? How can that kind of shape your experience?
Would you say that it kind of grounded you into, or like how did you find that useful?
I'm not sure if it's super useful to me yet. I feel like it's just something I'm kind of, it's like cooking.
It just like popped out at you.
Yeah. It makes me think about the certain scenarios where money will be pulled from me at any moment in regards to an emergency. Like, say my dog gets sick and I have to take him to the vet. I have to spend money on medication, x-rays, blood work, stuff like that. Or even for myself, or things regarding my car. Just a lot of things that we don't think about on the daily because it's not something that we constantly have to focus on, but it will happen eventually because something always happens.
So it kind of planted that seed in your head to think about your finances more long term instead of week to week, day to day, just month to month. But like, do you have a solid base or like an emergency fund for a rainy day if those things happen? I guess those are some ways that it could be planting those seeds. Okay, I got the book.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do it.
One really quick thing that I wanted to share, I like to read a lot of digital books. So usually before I get a physical copy of a book, I'll get a digital book. It used to be really hard for me to read, but I have an app called Readwise that reads the book for me. It turns any text into an audiobook, basically. It has AI voices. And then also I could highlight things, I could annotate the text. ChatGPT is in it, so if I ever don't understand anything, I could ask it to simplify a passage to help me learn faster. This is what really helped me start reading more with ADHD. I have a digital copy today and she has the physical copy.
Wait, there's another thing I want to share about the Readwise app. There's two of them. There's Reader and Readwise that are connected with each other. I don't pay for it because it is a paid subscription that you need to have in order for it to function. I think it's the Reader app. If you have a widget on your screen, once you've highlighted certain passages, it kind of spits it back at you so you can kind of remember what it is that you wanted to remember, which I think is really valuable information.
It's built off of a, oh my gosh, I'm talking when I'm chewing food, but hopefully you don't hear it.
As you smack it.
I'll cut it out. But Readwise has a feature where it's called spaced repetition. It's scientifically proven that in order to increase memory function, you have to repeat the amount of times that you revisit it. This is why school is created the way it is, or just how we remember anything in general with note cards. Spaced repetition. So Readwise has a feature where any book that you highlight, any article or YouTube video that you highlight and annotate, it'll resurface those highlights so that you can remember everything that you learned. I like it. It can also send you emails or text messages. I don't do that one, and it kind of does it in like a game type of format. I'll spend more time in my Readwise than I will scrolling on Instagram or like scrolling through TikTok, because how do I describe it? It's like an echo chamber of all the things that resonate with me. Instead of scrolling through random things that are just constantly fighting for my attention, Readwise is a place where all of the ideas that I've highlighted, that I've annotated, that I've reflected on from my journey through that book or whatever, it'll resurface things that actually resonate with me, not just, recommended videos that have nothing to do with what I really want to build in my life.